Going to do another brake job on this truck. This is my truck. I already sprayed these threads. There's a lot of mud where I drive, where I work at, and it's just short local trips, and the steel mill, there's an awful lot of mud holes, and so this thing was just caked with it, and there's mud all over the place in here. Anyway, the reason I'm doing this brake job is you climb underneath and I'll show. Brakes are not really worn out, but there's cracks on the shoes, and that's not legal. And see those cracks? Can't have that. That's not legal. Personally, it's not going to hurt anything, but anyway, I'm going to change them, and I'm going to change the drums because I can feel, when I put my finger in there, I can feel that the drums are got some wear. I don't think these drums have ever been changed since I've had the truck. There's a little wear in there. So, got the jack set up where I can pick this side up, and I think it's ready to lift this air over hydraulic. Well, I got the truck jacked up. That jack is acting kind of slow. It's probably my fault for not putting oil in it like I should. I'm bad about waiting until my air tools start acting up before I put oil in them. Gotta loosen up the slack adjuster. Got this little fork to lift this thing up with. You can use a screwdriver if you don't have one of these. Just lift that little button up there. And I got a ratcheting, it's an 8-point. That's a 4-point bolt on there, so an 8-point. A 12-point 5/16 will fit it as well, and that's what I always used in the past. But whichever way it doesn't turn without the fork, that's the way you got to go, which is right here. Turns that way to tighten the brakes, but it won't turn this way, so I got to lift this button up and then it'll turn. I'm trying to stay out of the way of the camera. And while I'm doing that, I'm also, see if we can get this on camera. I'm watching my brake gap down in here. So we got a big, we bottomed this one out. I really need to back it off a little bit more. I mean tighten it back up a little bit more because I'm going to be, the S-cam will be in not the best place. It's right before it bottoms out. When it bottoms out, then you take it loose again, or tighten it up again just a little bit. Now I got to hit that drum with a hammer. think that'd come off. And smack it with a sledgehammer right on the corner here. I'm putting new drums on anyway. Now these springs right here, these two spring, one on this side, one on that side. I'm going to pop those off with a screwdriver. And just lift the whole brake shoe assembly off of there. It'll come off. Anyway, I gotta check this up and down play on this S-cam. I really got almost none to speak of, so I'm good there. I'm going to take a scraper here and clean the worst of this gunk off of the S-cam and the extra grease that came out from greasing it. Gotta make sure I got the right brake shoes. I'm pretty much just going to eyeball it, but I'm going to make sure that the old shoe is the same size. Everything is matching up good there as far as, you know, the circle, the size of the circle and everything. And then the next thing I'm going to match up is make sure that these holes in here are the same. Well, it doesn't matter, it comes with its own hardware kit. We're putting new hardware in, but I want these holes to be the same size. The distance between this and this needs to be the same, or else these springs here won't fit tight or will be too tight. And I think all the hole patterns look good to me, so now I'm not afraid to go on ahead and open up the hardware. Those will be last. Knock these things in this hole that's about 4 inches back from this smaller. Got a bigger one here, that's where these big anchors go, where these things go in there. And then the smaller hole up here is where these go. Anyway, this does not go here, it goes here. Those holes there are for these springs here. This goes in there like that with this little ring sticking out that direction. You could do it this way, but you're going to have a hard time getting to it. If you do it this way, then you got squeeze that, push them in, the corners of the springs will pop out in these holes. Very simple. Now, this has to go through that till it's in the middle like that. That's what you hang this big blue spring on. Tie the two shoes together. Now I'm ready to hang those on there. No, I'm not. I gotta change these pins these anchor pins. Gotta change those. Well, one came out. There's usually at least one that's not going to come out. Got a tool for that. Now it's time to put the brake shoes on there. Don't have a camera person. I'm just hoping that I get all of this in camera. These little pins that I put in there, I'm going to hang this blue spring in the middle of that. And I can do it one or two ways. Either I can hook the two together and carry all of it up there like this and try to that usually fights with me trying to do it that way. Looks like I might get away with it though. Okay, I set it up there. Set this one down. And you can't see what I'm doing because I don't have a camera person. Okay, I set this one down on the anchor pin that I just put in. This one's hanging off to the side. And then set this roller inside the S-cam. Then I get over here on this side. And I'm going to pull this down and get this. Get that roller in there on the other side of the S-cam. And it's not snapping completely into place the way I like it. There it goes. Now I'm taking a little chipping hammer and I'm knocking the rust that's kind of swollen up around these studs on the face of this hub. I'm just doing that because I don't want to just pinch it in there with the new drum and then have the drum on there a little bit crooked. That's just my preference, but I'm doing that. Try to stay out of the way of the camera. I'm going to put these springs on. I'm going to do the outside one. I do the inside one first normally because it's harder to get to, and the outside one is easier to get to even after the first one is done on the inside. But I'm going to do this one just to show you how. Just grab that with a pliers, but you got to grab it where you leave enough of this spring, this hook sticking out that you can get it in that hole. And you got to be careful that you don't slip, because that pliers can bite a chunk of meat out of your hand if you're not careful. That's all there is to that. And like I said, I normally do the Now this one is stuck. See there? There it's out. It's out now. Normally do the inside one first because it's harder to reach. But I got it though. Then I just opened up my pliers and squeezed it to pop it in the rest of the way. Okay, now it's time to clean up the drum and put that on. They got oil in the drum. I'm going to wipe that out with some brake cleaner. Then I'm going to tighten up my brake the same way I loosened it, but I'm going to go the other way. I don't need to hold that button out with these slack adjusters. It'll just ratchet. This is just a pre-adjustment because it's easier to do it right here. Than it is with the wheel on, with the tire on. So now I'm lifting that button again with this fork and going to back it off about half a turn. But you can't really get a good adjustment without having the wheel on there because the drum is not tight against there. But it's good enough. You can drive away with it like that. Well, that brake job is for the most part done. I just didn't do a final adjustment on it. And just got to put the tire on it now, put the wheel back on it, tighten it up. Thanks for watching.